Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Rams. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go. Ready? 44's Mike. Check. It's a party now. Check out.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. He gets it to Thomas. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to get this one all the way down to the Rams' 29-yard line. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Check. Crunch. Spawn.
2nd and 4. That one is caught by Hunt. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Check. Wild Bill. 44's to Mike. 44.
Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
What you call a rookie mistake. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Super one.
Goff now looks to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He's going to wind up and air it out. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 45. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Right now, you check 13, 25.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Todd Gurley standing by his lonesome in the backfield here, second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Zerline's kick is up and through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Merlin.
I smell fear in that offense.
After the interception, here's Goff. He gets it to Cooks. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Recon, 132 fighter. Alert 3.
From the gun, here's Goff. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Here's a 2nd and 7. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. A gain there of 21 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Samson Abuka make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 2nd and long. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A first down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Gurley on first down with no blocking help there as he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
41's coming. 41's a mic.
Check back.
Out of the gun, Goff. He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And it'll be intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position and makes the interception.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, it's Logan. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29.
He don't know no better.
They'll set up to throw. It's wearing the tight end with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
And the Texans first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check three, check three. Short.
He'll drop to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Mike 29.
I'm trying to collect.
Check three. He's coming. Double up.
He'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Goff now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And Woods has it complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always...
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Benardrick McKinney leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, fellas.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hardball. 41, Mike, 41.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Then he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And some room to roam now. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big run there by Gurley. 54 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
No. Off. Value 1. You got tight. Blue draw corkers.
Gone. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Shell.
Here's Goff. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here we go. Left. Watch left.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Let's go now. 44. Mike, 44. Watch the slant. On
3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, they run with Gurley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now it's gone. Open man is Galladay, complete. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. The guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Goff. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Check tight end. Check tight.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Come on, D. 44, Mike, 44.
2nd and 10. Out to the right, he's got the tight end Waring. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Joker, 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 joker. Go, go. Kill, kill, kill. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
On third down, Logan. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Completes it out left to Waring. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a rush coming, and he's taken down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen, watch it. Watch the screen. 29.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Aaron Donald and the Rams get the football in outstanding field position.
Cut. Like 20. Mike 58. Value 3. Value 3. Watch the edge.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And that one's complete to Gurley. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team once more. And this a 39-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
We got this. Set.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Rolling to his right. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29.
Back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Defense wins championships, baby. 58, boys, 58. Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here we
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Check 43. Back. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Slam. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
He'll look to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Throwing now. Gone. He gets it to Gurley. Complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun. Gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
First down, Texans.
Ready up. To Mike. 44 to Mike. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Kill. Deuce. Hopper. Flare. Shift. Check 50. He's checking. Crash. Check 20. Check 26. Alert 3. Alert 3. Check. Fresno.
On first down, it's Logan. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And the kick is good, so they